Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to our Mom Talk Marathon. This is Season 3, Episode 6, The Book of Confrontation.
Confrontation. Did we get confrontation yet? It doesn't feel like it. This just feels like a lot of adjacent conversations still. It was more of a confrontation in the last episode at the Hydro Jugs.
Let me spark your memory here.
Okay.
As Mom Talk heads to Hollywood, a shocking allegation is made. The wedge between the group deepens, and Jessi and Demi face off. We're going to LA.
All right, where does this one start off? Because
them walking into the hotel lobby and finding out they've booked rooms in the same hotel.
And Jen Affleck checking in, making sure that they get her last name, Affleck. Very important to emphasize that.
Maybe she's hoping she'll get a free upgrade.
Yeah, she thinks.
Heavy on the Affleck part.
Maybe, yes.
Jessie's not here with the group because she took the kids to Disney with Jordan before this.
This, I don't understand. I don't get this. When you're in a temporary trial separation, did they already have this booked ahead of time or something?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I think maybe they did, and they were like, what, are we not going to take the kids to Disney now?
But it seems like it coincides with the press tour. So, like, was it just an opportunity thing that they were like, well, we're going to be over there anyway, so let's go to Disneyland while we're at it?
I'm wondering if that was the thought process before they got separated.
Okay.
Because she says later they didn't want to punish the kids by not going on the trip, and that they're trying to make things normal for them. But it was weird to find that out as everybody's walking into the hotel that she's not here because she's on a trip with Jordan.
I mean, do what you got to do, I guess, at this point. But we haven't really seen too much of an advancement in that storyline. We don't really know what's going on with them. So are they on good terms while they're there? Are they on bad terms? We don't really know.
Yeah, we've heard zero from Jordan since the barbecue.
Yeah, so that was a whole episode, which felt like 3 episodes before this one.
Feels like forever.
Episode 5 was brutal.
So they go out to dinner, and Jen is talking about her love of dance. She's really trying to gun for Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, this was the weird restaurant with all of the like centerpiece stuff. They set down like a whole popcorn machine in front of Jen at one point.
I thought they were at Disney.
This felt like a Alice in Wonderland sort of dining experience.
Popcorn contraption mid-conversation.
To just plop that thing down right in between here. And then how are you going to talk around this for the rest of the Caesar salad with the statue of Julius Caesar?
What the fuck is happening? Again, this is why this felt like a fever dream. Coming off of the last episode?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But this just felt like more of a rehearsal. This was a dry run of Jen trying to feel out her background story of what she's going to tell the executive producer here.
Oh, okay. I kind of felt like maybe she was trying to make the other girls who are going to audition feel bad.
Oh.
Like, my dream is bigger than your dream. It's existed for longer.
I've wanted it my whole life.
So you should probably just not go to the audition.
Why did Layla still go? Layla's like, eh.
I was surprised by how many of them actually went to the interview.
Jessi didn't, right? Because it ended up being...
I think she did.
She did?
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Because it was definitely, obviously, Whitney, Jen, Layla, Taylor. It wasn't Macy. It wasn't Michaela.
Because Jessi was like, yeah, I have no real dance experience.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, just from like the TikToks that we do. But yeah, I'm not really good at it. It's like, okay, yeah, nice sell.
Excellent interview. So as they're at this dinner, they find out that Marciano was uninvited from the Hulu event they're going to be going to as part of the press tour.
Right.
Because this event isn't just for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It's a bunch of Hulu shows that are going to be coming out. And we know last season, part of that was Vanderpump Villa.
Yes.
So they see a TikTok that Marciano posted talking about how one of them got him removed, uninvited from going to this event.
Which... he's implying that it's Demi because he said a 30-year-old. And so, I mean, it could be around about, because they're all around 30. But to say 30 specifically when Demi was the only person in the group who is actually 30, that was kind of what people were connecting the dots on.
Does he think we're all like looking or Googling their birthdays to figure out which one it was?
I guess.
But they all obviously know there's some bad blood between Demi and Marciano at this point. None of them think they did it. It could have been Jessi. That could have been something that people could have assumed.
Could have been.
Automatically, they're thinking it's Demi. So it's press tour day. And Layla is reading more stuff that Demi was posting on TikTok the night before because she's been blowing up people's comments. She was very obviously upset that Marciano posted that and felt like there was an assumption by the public that it was her. So she's on TikTok telling people that Marciano's a predator and a clout chaser.
So this is where this gets very difficult to talk about. This gets yucky because we're shifting gears now from Demi not being able to avoid this because now this is becoming public conversation because she was basically just having the fight here within, it was her versus the other members of Mom Talk about what happened at Vanderpump Villa. And then what Marciano said happened, what Marciano said didn't happen. So it was kind of just like this internal argument right now for the show. And now this has gone public. So this is out where she has to defend this or talk about this with the viewing audience now who don't really know the entire situation yet.
And it very quickly becomes obvious that Mom Talk feels like she is positioning herself to be a victim when they don't feel that Marciano did anything to her that was uninvited.
Right. Yeah, it seemed like there was willing participants. But then if you imply that, or if you mention that, or remind Demi of that, then she immediately goes to, that's victim blaming. She's kind of shielding herself with this, that's the gross part, right? Is that if you're going to say that something happened, something inappropriate that you were not party to, you can't just use that as an excuse for bad behavior, though. Like, that's the scary part.
I think what they're assuming is Demi's running out of runway now. She's been able to avoid having any type of face-to-face interaction with Marciano, and that was going to happen at this Hulu event, and that she was potentially afraid of what he was going to say about their relationship because she's been trying to keep the spotlight on his relationship with Jessi, and that she went with this as a backup plan to avoid having to see him and to avoid him saying anything about what happened between them on camera.
Well, and it's also the ladies of Mom Talk are suspecting too, this is a way for Demi to get her version of the story out. She's trying to get ahead of the story, basically, before this breaks, before it becomes complete public knowledge of what was going on here. She needs to have her version of events heard first. So then that way it's added validity. It's out there, can be repeated a little bit more. And there's more people who might be apt to defend her. I would say this does not align with one episode ago when she's saying you need to trust Marciano. She's telling Layla that.
Oh, that's a good point.
At the Jug event.
Yeah, that's a good point because she did put she made him sound like he has a lot of integrity, right? You should listen to him and trust him. And now she's kind of flipping the script on that and saying you can't trust him. And in fact, I don't even want to be around him at an event for this show.
Okay, so like here's where we'll kind of just talk about this holistically throughout the whole episode from this perspective, because Demi's actions don't make any sense how she's talked about this interaction with Marciano, because it has changed so many different ways now too. And that's what people are starting to call out. There's documented exchanges between her and Marciano after she left the villa. There's tons of text messages that she had to scroll through with Layla a few episodes ago too. She's remained in contact with him. If this is someone who made you feel uncomfortable, unsafe, vulnerable, used, and exposed, why are you sending photos of your daughter to him? Right, why are you still interacting with him when you don't have to anymore and you're choosing to continue to engage with him?
Yeah, that's something that Jessi brings up later, that apparently I guess Marciano must have shared these texts with them.
Yes.
And he's trying to prove that he's had an ongoing friendship with Demi that has continued.
there was like some semi-inappropriate contact at Vanderpump Villa with her, alleged off camera, that she outright denies, that he claims was mutual and consensual.
All right. This is difficult because what the ladies are saying is what we witnessed firsthand was she was very flirty with Marciano.
Yes.
Now, that does not mean that if Marciano touched her, so they kissed.
Yes.
But
on
then,
the Truth or Dare, there was like a kiss on the cheek that Demi has admitted to. Marciano has said that there's other kisses that happened that were off camera.
And then she's claiming that he grabbed her ass multiple times.
Which that could be inappropriate, unwanted touching.
Regardless of what happened before.
For sure.
Right.
Yes. Absolutely agree with that. I don't know how... Demi doesn't strike me as the type of person to have someone treat her that way and then continue on as if nothing's wrong and just placate them through text message. We saw that at the Halloween party when Chase touched her while he was leaving the party. He like scooted her out of the way and she immediately went upstairs and told her husband, you need to go check Chase because he put his hands on me. So she's very quick to speak up in those sorts of situations. We saw that happen on camera in a matter of minutes. And that was before this.
And that's what all the women are saying is, look, we've witnessed that happen too. So she's putting everyone in a difficult situation because now they have to choose who they believe.
Right.
And it's very hard, especially as a woman, to not believe the woman in the circumstance. But she also has no idea that they've had a lie detector test and that they've continued to talk to Marciano and that they know a whole lot more than she's aware of.
Okay, here was the other yucky part, was when she was getting her glam done and Demi was in the chair right next to Macy. So Macy is then being subjected to, she's in the chair for her makeup, hair and makeup. Demi comes in and sits down 2 feet away from her. And then also, who else shows up? Whitney, full glam. She's been up since 3 a.m. probably, just so excited about her Dancing with the Stars interview. And so she's already done. She's ready to go here. But now Macy is sandwiched between Demi and Whitney, who are talking about all of these current events that are coming to light now. And Demi basically has to inform Macy of, well, yeah, you and Michaela get it because we're all in the same boat there when it comes to SA. And it's like, I think that's really fucking gross to compare your situation to me. Say that it did happen that way. And we absolutely trust you and believe you 100%. I'm not saying that I do. But even if it were that, to compare it to Michaela, who experienced sexual abuse at 8 years old, very different set of circumstances.
Right. And then has talked about the trauma of telling people about it and not being believed.
Yeah. So I'd say that that's pretty fucking gross to even just try to attempt to put yourself into that same bucket, especially when considering looking at everything else that's gone on holistically, her experience, how her story has changed, and everything else that's going on. I'm sorry, Demi, I don't believe you in this circumstance. And she wants people to say that so then that she can say, oh, so you support Marciano, so an abuser.
Make them look like the bad ones in the situation.
Right. Yeah. But like, I can go ahead and say, I don't believe Demi in this.
Well, Macy's like disgusted.
She's texting everybody like what is happening between this conversation with Demi and Whitney. And she's losing her mind here. She's holding her tongue as best she can.
Well, until she tells Demi, by the way, Marciano took a lie detector test and so did Jessi.
So we believe him.
And she looks shocked.
Demi was terrified. She was like, oh, you did? Like, that was not part of the plan. She was not aware of that at all. This is literally the first time that she's found out about it. And you could see her shit her pants and she did not have Taco Bell for breakfast. That was a totally different.
Interesting, just because if there is a mole in the group, they certainly didn't tell her about that.
Didn't tell her that. Well, also, what would be that hard shift, too? Because it seemed like Layla was coming in. She was irritated with Demi's comments. So the public accusation against Marciano. did not look good then either. So maybe Layla was kind of irritated or upset about that. I mean, the lie detector happened a while ago, though. So, I mean, if she was feeding her information, that could have been a different time when they had that falling out.
I don't know, but nobody told her about it.
Yeah, or it's just an oversight. Forgot to mention that.
Want to do the Dancing with the Stars interviews?
I mean, there wasn't too much to it, except I didn't like how she kept grabbing Jen's belly.
Yeah. Dina Katz walks in and she's like, hi, baby.
Hi, baby. Hi, Jen. Hi, baby. And like, don't put your hand on a pregnant woman's belly. Like, don't do that. Can we normalize that? Like, let's not do that.
In an interview.
In an interview on camera.
This is a fucking job interview.
Like, what are we doing?
I know it's a television show, but still, this is a professional interview.
I don't like any of this. But Jen's like, hey, touch the belly, rub the belly. Do you want me to? I don't care. Rub oil on it. What do you want? I want this job. I'll do whatever you want.
So Jen, Whitney, and Layla all have former dance experience. I was surprised again by how many people actually interviewed, and I think it's sad to find out how many of them were rejected when they thought that there was going to be one position for Dancing with the Stars, and they ended up taking 2 people from this show.
Which again, fuck this show, for you already told us who is selected before you even showed them interviewing. That's why we thought it was going to be a season 2, like an A and a B, like a close thing. But then no, at the tell-all, they just spill the beans all over this about
and now they made it a storyline.
And now they're still going to build this up as, boy, oh boy, I wonder who they're going to pick.
This is annoying because this is giving us Sister Wives. You know, this is like Sister Wives trauma.
Oh, it's Maddie's baby.
Also, Dancing with the Stars has been airing for weeks now.
We know.
In real time.
So even if it wasn't, I think that was why they were like, oh, we just have to bring it up at the tell-all, because then that's the big announcement time for it. Because, yeah, it was going to air in September. You guys couldn't edit this before then? Have it run concurrently or something?
I don't know. It's just, again, like the stakes don't really exist because we know who ends up getting cast.
Right.
Jen's not even on anymore. She got voted off already.
Spoiler alert.
So they'll hear back in a few weeks. So I guess we're all supposed to wait on pins and needles with bated breath to find out who gets selected.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I can't wait to find out.
All right. So the Hulu event. The one that Marciano got uninvited from. They're once again eating Taco Bell. Was
that before? Like they were outside because then they met Khloe Kardashian too.
This is before they actually went to, I think, outside of wherever the event was. This was like a green room or some other.
There's
some
Taco
other
Bell
setting.
Everywhere in these episodes, you guys.
Jen's starting to get nervous.
Jen picked it up. I don't know how this kept in the show because this seems like a sponsorship thing, like a requirement that they needed to drop Taco Bell product placement multiple times that they had an obligation to fulfill here. And then Jen's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get the nervous shits though if I eat this. And it's like, that's what you kept in here for that? That's your glowing endorsement of their product?
I mean, we're all thinking about it. You're going to a work event and you're going to eat Taco Bell beforehand. That's honestly, a little risky.
I'm glad it's an outdoor event. Let's put it that way.
Everybody's loaded up.
We're going to need
beef and cheese.
Proper ventilation for the cheesy, beefy meetups here.
That's when we meet Marciano's ex. I think
Hannah.
It said her name was Hannah.
Yeah, well, because she's from Vanderpump Villa. So we saw her on the show when we recapped that episode.
I don't remember.
I know you don't. But yeah, she was on there because she's had like on again, off again sort of relationship with Marciano. And basically she's vouching for his character to say, Marciano's a lot of things. An abuser, though. Predator. No, not on that list.
This has obviously been like the talk of everyone who's here.
Oh, yeah.
Because they saw what Demi was posting.
Yeah, word's getting around for sure. Yeah.
Okay, they did have to change venues because now they get in the van. And that's when Macy is telling everybody about what happened when she was getting glam done. As if she wasn't already texting them.
Oh, okay. So I think the Taco Bell was in the lobby of the hotel after glam. And then they got into the vehicles to go to the event.
Okay.
That was it.
I'm telling you, we need to stop going to so many events. I can't keep track of what's happening.
Yeah, I can't tell what's going on.
Between all the women who look the same and then so many events that have a similar purpose where it's just a bunch of influencers standing
in
around.
Front of the photo op vine covered square of something that you can
It's
put
very
with flowers on it.
disorienting.
Great. Yeah. Very original. Awesome. Sprinkled with Taco Bell. Of course.
Obviously, everyone's very upset about the fact that Demi's comparing herself to Macy and Michaela.
Because it's gross. Yeah. For the reasons that we've already outlined.
Enter Khloe Kardashian. So they get to the Hulu event, and Khloe Kardashian and Scott Disick are there.
I don't know. Yeah.
I know.
I wouldn't have been able
You
to
know.
pick them out of a crowd. I'm not even lying to you.
Kardashians. They all start fangirling because they want to talk to Khloe. I didn't think she seemed that receptive to speaking to them because they end up talking primarily to Scott.
It seemed like Scott had seen the show. Khloe doesn't know who these people are. So that's the difference there. Scott said he's seen a few episodes. I don't think he's like a fan,
No,
though.
I got the vibe that they were both like, can you just leave us alone?
Yeah, you take your photo and then get out of here, okay? You guys are a lot to deal with right now.
Demi shows up, and so does Whitney. And so those two are like a bonded pair because they're afraid to be left alone anywhere near this group. And they go over and talk to Marciano's ex. And things get heated between Demi and Hannah because I think she was expecting Hannah to side with her. And instead, Hannah's going hard for Marciano.
Yeah, like you're making a big claim here to me because if this is something of like false accusation that comes to light, like that's a big thing to call out and then not have that be true. So I think that's what they're trying to be mindful of here.
Well, and she's talking about how Marciano told her that you guys were in love.
Yeah,
This
like he
wasn't
had
just
it
a
bad.
friendship.
Yeah, he had it bad for you. So maybe there was some wires crossed, some miscommunication as far as what was going on there, but he seemed to be under the impression that this was different. This was a different setup.
Do you think that Demi is getting outplayed here? I think that she was under the assumption that she had the upper hand over Marciano. I don't know that she really had any feelings for him, but I do think she was using him, this is my opinion, to create the storyline about Jessi
Yeah.
and deflect from what happened with him while she was at Vanderpump Villa, and that she kept this ongoing flirtation with him to stay in his good graces so that he would say what she wanted him to say.
Oh, yeah.
And now she is surprised that now that the veil has dropped, that he is going around and telling everyone what was happening between them.
Yeah, I don't think she was expecting that. But then also, she's not very good at this either because, I mean, we were able to punch holes in her narrative and you can see it change where she's getting more desperate. And so the lies are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, she's having a hard time talking her way out of this. As they're over there talking about that, Jessi's watching from across the yard.
Like it's in prison. Yeah, from across the
It's like a
yard.
prison
She's going to
yard.
shank her.
And she's convinced that Demi's talking about her,
I
which she's
saw-
actually not.
No, I saw she leaned in and like pretend kissed her. She's trying to like show a kiss. She must be talking about me and Marciano.
Incorrect.
No, wrong.
Now, they all agree beforehand that they were going to behave at this event because they must be worried that if they act out of turn at a Hulu event, that's a really big deal.
Well, yeah, you're going to blow your Dancing with the Stars opportunity here.
Oh, yeah. They're like,
They
is
st-
Dana Katz anywhere nearby?
They still haven't
Dina,
made a
whatever her name was.
decision. Yeah, you got to be careful.
That's kind of all that happened here.
Because then they go back to the hotel and they're doing like a nightcap. Everybody's in their sweats and the pizza looked terrible. That's all I remember. Oh,
Well,
man.
They're having to talk about the next event that they're going to go to because this show is just a series of influencer events.
A series of unfortunate events.
They've got invited to Stagecoach. That's the next place they're going to be going to. And the brand that has gotten them a house to stay at doesn't understand that there's friction within Mom Talk right now. So they've invited Whitney to stay at the same house as the rest of them.
Whoopsie doopsie.
They're going to have to now figure out, first of all, is Whitney coming? Because Demi already said she's not going, so they don't have to worry about her. But Whitney's the wild card. Are they going to have to spend the weekend hanging out with Whitney? Or is she not going to come to this?
Maybe you could just like book an Airbnb for Whitney. Is that too complicated to
They're
do?
going to pay for her to stay somewhere?
Yes. As part of that, I think I would take that out of my own personal fund.
Out
and
of the
say,
Mom Talk Fund?
Here you go. Yeah, we're just going to chalk that up as a business expense.
You overturn all those wigs they bought for Miranda's party.
For real, yeah. That might be able to take a chunk out of that.
That prompts Taylor to then have a conversation with Whitney the next day,
where she's checking in. Hey, are you going to this thing? This seems to be like the bridge, right? Because Whitney and Demi are on the outs of Mom Talk, and then Taylor is basically the personification of Mom Talk. She's still the elected leader.
They're speaking. They're
the mouth of Mom Talk.
There you go. Yeah.
And so she's then approaching Whitney in her most delicate state here during Glam and is checking in with her. Hey, are you going to this thing? Are you expecting to like stay in the house with us and stuff? It's going to be a whole thing.
Also, we're really sorry that we kind of ganged up on you the other day, because now we're realizing that Mom Talk is a business. I know you said that the last time you saw us, that this is a professional arrangement. We're trying to be professionals. So if we're all going to Stagecoach, we're wanting there to be civility between us and not have it be a big, embarrassing blow up that this brand's going to be unhappy about. Because at the end of the day, this is a business and we like to continue to get invited to influencer events.
Right. Until I start my own Mom Talk.
But like,
yes.
So didn't she just prove Whitney's entire monologue earlier correct? That this is a business.
And there's no need to involve personal relationships to complicate that. Yeah. I mean,
I'm not trying to defend her.
No.
But that is exactly what you're saying. So they kind of just leave it at that. We don't know what's going to happen at Stagecoach yet, but they're going into it trying to keep this as a business arrangement.
Oh, and then the other good part too was as Taylor was getting ready to leave, she's like, okay, good. I'm glad that we were able to talk about this and that we were able to wrap this up. Great. And then Whitney's like, oh, okay, yeah. And she kind of reaches out to her and Taylor like shakes her hand. It was like an awkward handshake. And Whitney was like, oh, I was going to hug you before you left. I wasn't trying to shake your hand.
Whitney's misunderstanding that this is a business meeting.
I don't know. She just came back from the meeting with Demi Lovato from Dancing with the Stars, and she's rubbing Jen's belly. She's doing all sorts of stuff. So she doesn't know. You know, she's in LA. The lines are kind of blurred a little bit now.
All right. Demi and Jessi, they sit down and have a conversation. I thought this was going to be a lot more explosive than it was.
No, not so much. Yeah, Jessi kept her cool. She maintained her composure. She was able to express all of the things to reiterate the facts where Demi is pretty nervous about that lie detector test. Luckily, Jessi didn't tell her about all of the answers and all of the conclusions that were met.
Do you think that the only reason Demi agreed to have this conversation with Jessi, well, I think there's two. One, she wants camera time.
Yeah.
Two, she wants to fish for information.
Yeah, she's trying to see. Yeah, because basically that was what happened was out in the yard before the ladies went back to the hotel. This was what Jessi was like, hey, by the way, we need to have a conversation. And Demi was like, absolutely, I'll take you up on that. So that's what led to this. And I mean, Jessi really lays out the facts where it's like, hey, your story doesn't make any sense. It does not add up at all.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the things that you've been saying about me and Marciano, we've already disproved because we took a lie detector test.
So now it's really stacking up. Odds are stacking up against you. It's not making any sense. And it looks like you're scrambling, you're desperate, and you're grasping at straws.
Well, and then that's where Jessi confronts her about the texts between Demi and Marciano.
Numerous texts.
She brings up, remember the oyster text that we saw last season where
Yes.
Demi's comparing it to swallowing cum? Can I say that on here?
I guess.
I just did, so.
It's the Mom Talk Marathon, you guys.
Things that are, inappropriate conversation for a married person to be having with somebody else. And now we're compounding this with the story that she says that Marciano inappropriately touched her at Vanderpump Villa, but she has this ongoing friendship with him where not only is it flirtatious, she's sending him pictures of her child as well.
Yeah, and then also, talking about different sexual component things. Is that the sort of conversation that you would have with someone who put you in an uncomfortable situation that made you feel unsafe in those ways?
I would say, that's not really a checkmate, in my opinion.
No. But what I'm saying is then you pair that based off of, because then that's what Demi's saying. You don't know how people react. Victims react different ways. 100%. I agree with that. But I'm basing it off of Demi's previous interactions that have happened on camera where she does not let that stuff slide. So the Halloween party is what jumps to mind for that every single time, is where she's very quick to call people out on that and then not continue communicating with them.
That's part of it. But then I'm also thinking about how Demi has talked about wanting to manufacture storylines before.
Yes.
And that also makes me suspicious of her as well, because we've thought since the beginning that this was really convenient that they ended up having more to talk about with Vanderpump Villa. Like, it's like a crossover to almost promote both shows.
Yeah.
That there's so much drama between the two casts. And the fact that she was talking about staging issues in people's relationships before, that everyone was like, ew, that's gross and weird. Why would you even say that?
Well, there's a lot of projection. There's a lot of accusations from Demi that are actual confessions in a lot of the things that she says. So it's like when she was going after Jen for being a liar. It's like when she was going after Jessi for being inappropriate relations with Marciano. So it's just like all these different things that like she's really gone hard about, but then it ends up being that she's the culprit.
Mm-hmm. I want them to talk more about what she did to Jen last season, because I just don't feel like they've spent enough time on that. That was a calculated attempt to get in front of what she thought Jen was going to expose on the show.
100%. Yeah, I think so.
Because Jen, it didn't seem like Jen had any solid evidence that Demi and Marciano had kissed or whatever she thought happened between them. But she definitely suspected that something more went on while they were at Vanderpump Villa. And she never got to talk about it.
She was silenced into a mental health break.
So Demi is again like, I'm upset that you would have an affair with my abuser, friend to friend. That upset me. And that's kind of the end of the conversation for Jessi, where she's like, I hope we can just let this go. I don't want to talk about it anymore. If you continue to talk about it, she doesn't say this part, but it's probably not going to be good for you if you continue to talk about it, because she still has no idea that part of that lie detector included questions about herself.
Yeah, so maybe just drop it. Maybe just stop and distance from this now and just leave it be.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. Because we still have a couple more episodes to go.
Well, in the next episode, they're all going to go to Stagecoach. So Mom Talk saddles up for Stagecoach, but their weekend takes a turn when a damning post threatens to destroy the group. Marital issues worsen while others rekindle romance.
Oh, yeah, because this is Taylor and Dakota are grinding all up over each other, and it's a whole mess now because it's all the ladies of Mom Talk are going to be like, I really don't support this at all. I can't do it.
Again, super confusing since we know that she's been chosen to be the next Bachelorette. That we're still at the end of this season going back and forth with Dakota.
That's correct. Yes. We haven't even gotten to her mystery musician TikTok guy yet, who was out of state, who she talked about on
Call Her Daddy.
Call Her Daddy. Yeah, so that was like as part of the announcement for Bachelorette.
Well, you've got a hell of a lot to talk about in the next 3 episodes.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be here recapping every moment of it. Thanks for listening. See you next time.